Hey everyone, welcome to Enter Tai Chi. We're going to do the second series of the intercepting hand on the inside, which is like just have your hands up for me, is what we call the inside, where you intercept them on the inside. So I'm going to break it down how to properly intercept. So if he pushes me, so you don't get this done to you, okay? So we want to make sure he pushes me. So now you can see how his hands come out, but I can still come in. So I'm going to break down the technique on how to properly intercept without feeling that feedback that comes back into your body, okay? One, like anything, anytime somebody pushes, you need to dissipate the pressure by stepping backwards, but don't move backwards. Because if you move backwards, you're allowing the guy to push you, you're going to actually go backwards. Our job is to step back and still maintain forward pressure. So I need to keep my weight forward towards my lead leg. So even though I step back, I'm going to keep my body weight forward because my mass needs to be there to be able to withstand the pressure. If I move away with my body, I'm actually telling it to come in. So it's very important that while you step back, you're not supposed to move back. The reason why we step back because it wants to drop your height. That'll give you a lower root. It's kind of like if I want to attack them, I wouldn't want to go up to get the most power. I want to go down. So we want to make sure that we are dropping our height. So that way we have that better root so we can have a better structure. So that's very important that when I step backwards, I'm not moving backwards. I want to create that base right here, okay? That's your legs, okay? Now for the hands, very important, you have to have two things going at the same time for the arms. You want to create a base where your elbow comes away from your body. At the same time, you have drive up, okay? So it's very important that you're drawing your arm up like this in this motion. You're not going to try and go like and push your arms out. Our job is not to get his hands away from us. It's our job to get our hands into your opponent. So push me very slowly. You're not trying to bring his hands away, okay? That's a mistake because if he had a lot of weight and he came over, if he brought his elbow over top, he could come over top of your arm. He could slip through. If he had a strong push, most likely your stress is in your shoulders. If he kept pushing, he'll collapse you under that strong pressure. But if he does it again, like this, and push in, and you get your base up. You see how his arms pop up and he gets uprooted from that? Okay? There are several reasons why we want to create that pop-up feeling. One, it takes away his energy. If you see naturally, if you see pushes slowly, you see his arms go up. You see the energy go up in the shoulders. When I do it like this, push into me, like this, his shoulders don't go up, which means if he had a lot of weight, a lot of strength, he could still squeeze in. If I'm going like, can you bring it in? Do it again. Do it again. Ready? Do it again. No, squeeze it in. Right. So you can see now he pops up and he goes backwards. So we want to make sure that we are uprooting him, and that's why we have the down root. We down root to get more power from the earth, and we uproot him from that. Any force he gives us brings our energy down, which then we can bring back up to uproot him because of the technique. So this is how our arms have to intercept. Subconsciously, you're going to try and get the hands out because you're thinking defensive. Our job is not to think defensive, it's to be counteroffensive or offensive, okay? So push me very slowly. So when we go up, our job is to intercept. It can be anywhere along the forearm, up to, like I would say, no more than 2/3 from the wrist, okay? You don't want to go too far because then this hand can hit you in the face if you had a knife, you had a weapon of any kind. So no more than 2/3 from the wrist down. This is the most you should go. And because if I go like this past him, can you bend your arm and hit me in the head? Do it again. Okay, he can't do that for that reason, okay? So once I go past that, I'm getting more to the joint. He has more flexibility and go around me. So we don't want to go past that. Your arm can go from anywhere connecting from the wrist up to, again, 2/3 down from the wrist. Once you go too much like this, you're losing the base to drive up. You can see I have no influence to influence him anymore. And I should say I have no more drive to influence him. As long as I'm here, I have the drive to influence him up. So that's why you can't go more than 2/3 down from the wrist. Okay? It doesn't matter. He pushes very slowly. I can be from wrist to wrist and push into my chest if you can. Right. That's all I want you to go. Okay? So if I go like this, he pushes, I can be here. Okay? You can see I'm wrist to wrist. I could even be up to here and here. So up inside form. You see how he moves backward? Yeah. And even here, like push, like I can be up to here. Now see how he dropped his hand, but that's okay. I went for the hit anyways. But when the guy pushes, like I said, you don't have to be like, oh, I got to get to the wrist. I got to get to the arm. It's too difficult to be precise on the exact spot every time. You're never going to do it. But you have an area this big in your form, an area that big, and you can connect anywhere along that. It's fine. You got a big window of an area to connect to. You don't have to be small and specific on that little tiny point. Okay? You just have to hit a specific area, and the key is actually not where you hit, it's how you hit. So it's very important we learn how to hit. Now, our job is to create a forward energy with a base like this, and at the same time a drive. okay? I always tell my students, that shoulder to the elbow is what we call base technique, okay? A true base has to have a drive behind it. If you base and don't have a drive, it's what we call a false base. So if he's pushing me with, let's say, one hand, and I do it like this, you see the base, and it's like, can you still push my chest? Like, ugh. Why isn't that working? Because I did not have a drive behind that base.
Right, it's soft.
Right, but do it again, no, push. You see, when I based out, you can see the drive behind it as well. That's very important. Otherwise, you're like, well, I base, and he still like push me. I base, like, oh, I still collapse. You're creating what we call false base. You must create a true base. A true base must have a drive behind it. It's very important that you make sure that you have that drive behind the base. Otherwise, it won't work because you'll just collapse under pressure. So a true base must have a drive. So when you do this, try to bring your elbow away, but at the same time it goes away, you can see the arm rise. That needs to be in that motion with that base. Otherwise, like I said, it won't work, and you're creating what we call a false base, where a lot of styles, like, oh, I tried to go with my arm, and I collapse anyways. It's because you create a false base. So you must make sure you create a true base. Like I said, true base must have a what behind it?
A drive.
Right. You must have a drive behind the base, otherwise it won't work.
Right.
Now, the drive is so you can pop his arm up. So our job is not to get his hands away from us. It's to get our arms into him. So that's what I want. So push me very slowly. Our job is not to get his hands out, because that's no longer driving. That's swinging. Okay. People generally do this, and they'll try to get the hands away. No, you don't want that.
And you want to feel that in your shoulders.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you're strong, it'll hurt my shoulders.
Yeah.
If you go like this, it's up and in, okay? So you want to make sure you pop up. You want to make sure he just slips out. You don't have to force his hands out. He just winds up guiding. Now, when you pop up, you want to turn the palms towards your opponent. It's very important because that roll that you create, actually, like if I just did this, right? Push into my chest if you can. And that means I have to fight him. Do it again, that pop and the roll actually turns him off. So I can easily assist him out rather than force him out. Problem with forcing out means that I have to be greater than his will versus my will, or his force versus my force, let's say. With this one, I'm just assisting, not resisting. I always like to say, don't resist, just assist. So whatever force he puts on me, pushing my chest, right, pushing me. If I do this and I go like this, that's a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah.
Pushing me, like I do this, you see, now I can move in and get in. So I just pop up and turn them out. So our job is just to kind of turn your palm slightly. You have to go with the turn, there must be a drive. If you try to turn and no drive, it doesn't work. You have to drive while torquing. I always like to say a true drive must have a torque behind it. If you're trying to torque and you don't have a drive, it's going to fail you, okay? The mistake that people make is they'll forget to drive while they torque, or they'll forget to torque while they drive. It's very common. You need to do both at the same time. It's the same thing with bass. You must have a drive behind the bass, otherwise it won't work. You must have a torque behind the drive, otherwise it won't work. So a true drive must have a
Well, it's got to be
a torque.
A torque.
It has to have a torque. A true drive must have a torque behind it. If there's no torque behind the drive, it's no good. So if you're trying to torque, you don't have a drive, you failed. If you try to go up and you didn't torque, you wind up swinging. A true drive must have a torque behind what it does. Okay, so you want to try and kind of turn your palm towards your opponent, just a little bit. You don't have to turn and swing his hands out. This is not me turning my wrist. You can see my elbows move out, which is my shoulders. If your shoulders couldn't move, this is all you could do with your wrist. So all you need to do is this. If you're going like this, you swung your shoulders and you did not turn your wrist. You use your shoulders to make your wrist move. So you can see I'm not even turning my wrist, I'm using my shoulders. It should just be like this. So you should just look like this, on a front and a profile. That's how you should look. So if you push me very slowly, you should look like you're like this. So he pushes, okay? So you can see how he pushes, like,
Want me to push?
right in the chest, right here. Just, yeah. So as he pushes, you just, again, see how I could just turn my wrist. And again, this is now set up for the attack. You can see how vulnerable he is for the attack, which we will show in the premium video. So if you guys do like this video and you want to see the counter-attacking techniques to stop the opponent, because again, that just prevents the push. We need to stop him from attacking us, and that's where the combination strike comes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment us if you have any questions. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And YouTube Premium will show the combination attacks to stop the opponent from attacking you ever again. All right, thank you very much for watching. Bye. Hey family, what you just saw is just a little bit of sparring techniques and principles that we want to keep in how we attack your opponent. Okay, first off, we don't believe in defense, we believe in offense or counter-offensive techniques. So what you saw was us hitting points, not trying to defend against points. So these videos are here designed to teach you how to change your mindset. First off, like I said, we don't defend, we attack, we counterattack. So once we understand that, now we have to find the technique behind that. So our job is to learn how to strike the points, not try to block points. Get into the target, not get the target away from us. So when you see videos of people, they're always thinking, showing self-defense or getting rid of the punch, and then they try to find the attack. The problem with that is you're always receiving pressure. So we want to say he throws a punch, we hit them. We hit them. So now we put pressure into them. So this way, we're not receiving pressure. The problem with receiving pressure is you have to deal with it, and you have to absorb it or repel it. We don't want to do that. We want to create the attack. So we want to learn how to create the counterattack or attack techniques. And what do I mean by that is, as he throws the punch, as you see, I am not trying to get the block and waiting for it to come and withstanding the pressure. I'm not going to try and push him away from me. The problem is if someone is strong, they'll take us. If he hits, I hit back too. The difference is when I hit precise, I hit small, I hit on purpose, I hit with intent, I hit with control. That is what we're trying to teach you through these videos, these series, to change your mindset and change your body's ability to control energy as opposed to resist energy or absorb energy. So thank you for the interest of watching NDN, and we do appreciate your support. And we love doing videos for you guys, so please support us so we can make more videos for you guys. This is just one topic. We're talking a lot of techniques in what you do and learn how to not just hit points, but again, manipulate points, control points. If a person's grabbing you, like, you know, our instinct is to get off or trying to get away. Instead, you want to learn to get in. He comes, attack, grabs us. We don't try to deal with by pulling it away. We actually get into the striking. So if a guy does grab us, we can go into the strike right off the bat. We create pressure, create damage. We don't want to create force. We don't want to put our mindset to go against the force. We're going to go into the point, into the force, never against it. Never try to get rid of it. We want to get into them and let them try to go away from us. Okay, so this is what you are going to learn through the NDN system by subscribing and supporting us. And we, like I said, we will have a lot of videos with more support that we have. We can create more videos for you guys. We enjoy doing it. We love teaching. I love to teach the techniques, the family art, and you're learning something that was not passed outside of our family. So this is a great technique that you won't see anywhere else. So we do appreciate you guys being here and everything. So do you want to have anything to say, Hector?
We need your support. And if you want to learn these valuable lessons that this man has, you got to join. I take a beating, and I've never gotten hit as hard from a person as Sifu has hit me. Even though you may see that it's very light and very small, it's like a sledgehammer is hitting.
Pickaxe.
It's like, boom, explosive. So if you want to learn this from the only man in the world that actually has this system, please join. I'm here to take more beatings and do more videos for you and help you out the best I can. But the only way you're going to learn it is by actually subscribing and getting here right now, and now is the moment. Don't say tomorrow, don't say next week, don't say I've seen it before. You've never seen this. 100%, I'm telling you, you've never ever seen this or felt it. And that's another thing. If you ever want to join our seminars in the future, you're going to feel it. But everything that we do here is live, it's not rehearsed, it's not choreographed, it's not fake, it's the real deal. I've been out there. This is the real deal where no one else does it like Sifu. So please, there is a once in a lifetime. So join it right now while you can. Don't say tomorrow. Don't say, you know, I've done it, I've seen it before. No, you've never seen this before. Give it a chance and you'll be surprised. There's a lot of people I know personally that have seen it and they're like, wow, that's like nothing. Wow, you didn't hardly move. That can't work. And when I touched them, they were sold on it. So get on it right now and subscribe and join.
And thank you again. We do appreciate your support.